What is the secret to overcoming anxiety and actually improving your mental health? I'll answer this question through a simple life-changing practice that will reduce all of your stress and help you deal with every single one of your problems. And that is mindfulness, the cure for anxiety that has been overshadowed by different pills and medications. And let me tell you why it's so effective. Stress is the main cause of anxiety and depression in people around the world. When our body gets stressed and starts being anxious, it enters a fight or flight state, where you tense up, your heart rate starts racing, you start shallow breathing, and your gut stops digestion because your brain wants all the blood in your muscles to prepare for you to either run away or start throwing haymakers. All anxiety problems happen because of stress and nervousness. Therefore, if you can control that fight or flight state, then your anxiety will naturally go away. And there is only one physical way to control that state and to reduce your anxiety. That way only works because it will tell your body to relax, that he can rest and isn't in danger. That way is by breathing deeply. Because during anxiety attacks, most of the oxygen is in our muscles instead of our brain. So, when you breathe deeply, you'll be oxygenating your neurons, which will make them think clearly and realize that you aren't in danger and that it was all in your mind. But how can you prepare yourself for those moments? So you remember yourself to breathe deeply, and so you know how to properly relax and be with no thoughts in your mind. Mindfulness is the answer. When you are doing a mindful meditation, you are inhaling and exhaling deeply while you try to have no thoughts in your mind. By focusing on the sensations of the air entering and leaving your lungs. If you do it daily, you'll reduce your stress levels and prevent anxiety attacks from happening. And if you try a mindful meditation while really nervous, I can assure you that you'll start calming down and taking back control over your body and mind. This will reduce your stress levels and promote better mental health. You might be thinking that meditation is only for weird Shaolin monks and Facebook moms, but I can assure you that it truly works. I have living proof that mindfulness not only reduces anxiety and nervousness, but also calms negative thoughts down. I used to be an overthinker who would try to predict every conversation that I was going to have to avoid being humiliated by not knowing what to say or being mocked by anything else. Let me tell you a story about my anxiety. One time I was coming back home by a bus that was filled with people. Once I arrived at my destination, the bus doors opened, but there was a group of 10 teenagers older than me, blocking the doors with an aggressive look on their faces. I attempt to tell them that I want to leave, but I can't. I am too shy for that and my heart rate is racing with fear and anxiety that they would humiliate me for being so pathetic. So, the teens remained still and the doors closed, and I've just missed my bus stop. I head to the bus driver with my heart racing to ask him if he could reopen the doors, but he screams at me that he won't and that I must sit down and wait for the next stop. And guess what? The way the bus driver yells at me made me feel even more humiliated and anxious. Not only that, but now I feel like everyone's looking and judging. So, I live at the next stop in a place that I didn't know quite well, in a new town that I had moved to recently. I was lost, both in my mind and in the real world, and scared, because I am in a quite dangerous neighborhood. Then, the negative thoughts begin. I start to say to myself that I'm pathetic, I'm a failure, I'm a disgrace, I am a shame to my parents, and I'm worthless. And after I said these words, suddenly it started raining. So, I just kept walking through the streets with no idea where I'm heading, while I'm crying in the rain. Then, I start to run out of fear and sadness, until I finally arrived home and had to fake that everything was okay, otherwise they would scream at me. I guess you relate to that anxiety episode. I just want to tell you that 1 year of daily mindful meditations later, I'm free from anxiety. I can talk with anybody I want in a positive, happy manner. I can approach girls I find beautiful without having any signs of anxiety. And most importantly, I can tell people, excuse me, I want to leave the bus. But how can you actually meditate? First, for practical reasons, I recommend installing an app called Medito on your smartphone. It's not mandatory, but it makes everything easier. If you want to meditate, then you just need to open the app, click on Daily Meditation, select 3 minutes and follow along the relaxing protocol guided by the voice. And I leave the link to the app in the description down below. If you prefer not to install the app, set a timer for 3 minutes, close your eyes and empty your mind. Start inhaling deeply and exhaling deeply, breathing from your belly instead of your chest. Because that's how we are actually supposed to breathe. Not from our mouths, not from our chest, but from our noses and from our diaphragms. So, when you breathe, take into consideration that your stomach should bulge out like you're a fat king, and this is called diaphragm breathing. Focus entirely on the air entering and leaving your lungs. If racing intrusive thoughts penetrate your mind, which probably will happen, then you just need to calmly shift your attention back to your breathing. And that's the goal with mindful meditations. Each time you do this, it's kind of a repetition for your ability to enter a mindful state, and that will eventually make you improve your capacity to be completely focused when you are meditating. So you should begin with 3 minutes of daily meditation right after waking up or before going to bed. And once this feels easy and manageable, you just have to gradually increase to 5 minutes, then 7 minutes until you can meditate for 1 hour non-stop. I hope I helped you in any way with this video. If that's the case, then consider subscribing, liking and commenting on the video so you get recommended more content from me. And now for the ending quote. Meditation is about connecting with your soul and your inner self. Oprah Winfrey.